All right, let's add another format to our table of contents. Let's include heading 2s. And so what we want to do is we want to go up to the table of contents in the book. We want to right click on it and we want to do setup table of contents. And we see this familiar dialog box, and let's just take heading 2 and just double click on it. Now, one thing to be aware of in this dialog box, these basically are in alphabetical order. So it really, the order that you see in these include windows has nothing to do with the order that these are going to appear in your table of contents. It's strictly an alphabetical list. So I'm going to click OK. And the first thing it does, of course, it gives me a prompt because it knows this table of contents has been changed and I'm going to need to generate it. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And you can see now it's added all my heading 2s, and it would be nice if it kind of figured out some of the formatting for us, but it doesn't. It doesn't know what we want, so it just brings them over. Now don't forget, we wanted to separate content from formatting. So the first thing we want to make sure is, did we get the correct content? And if we want tab stops for these like we want for the other ones, we probably didn't, because it looks like we just got the paragraph text, a space, and the page number. And let's just verify that. So we're going to go to the reference page. And let's zoom in here and we'll look at this. Escape ZI. All right. Now what you can see is we've got an extra paragraph here. And one of the unusual things about this, and sometimes a little disconcerting, is the fact that it actually adds, when I add a new paragraph to that list, the TOC reference page already exists, so it adds it to the top of the page. It doesn't add it at the bottom like we might expect. But really it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that this one is down here for the heading 1s and this one's up here for the heading 2s. It doesn't matter at all. Now, since we're concerned about content, the first thing we need to do is we need to add our tab character. So we're going to select that space and just replace it with a tab. Let's just show the text symbols so you can see that. Okay, we need a tab stop, and we can sort of cheat here because if we look at the paragraph designer with our cursor in the heading 1, we can see that it's 486. So we're just going to take advantage of that, and we're going to click back in the heading 2 TOC. We'll double click here. We'll type in 486. We use leader dots, right aligned, continue, and we're just going to say update style. And you can see we actually got the tab stop where we wanted it here. So unlike what we did in a previous video where we did the formatting on the body page, we're just making a shortcut here and doing it on the reference page. We had to come to the reference page to add the tab character anyway, so we might as well stay here and do the formatting. So let's change the typeface and make this look a little bit like the other one. So we'll get the font here. We'll turn on Parakern. We'll update all, and we want to distinguish these obviously from the other ones. So maybe what we'll do is we'll add a little bit of space above these. We'll just see how this looks when we're done. Now unfortunately here, because this paragraph is up at the top and it's above this heading 1, we really can't see how this spacing is going to look until we go back to the body page, but that's okay. We can do some of this. Now let's actually put an indent on these heading 2. So let's just indent these, say like 12 points, and see what that looks like. So we're going to do update style, and maybe we'll go a little bit more here. Let's go 24. Update style. Now let's go back to the body page and see what we actually have. Now the one thing you'll notice is we don't have the tabs here. And the reason is when you change the reference page, when you change the content, you're not going to see the new content until you update the book, till you generate the table of contents again. So we added the tab to the reference page and we can see it there, but it's not going to show up on the body page until we actually update the table of contents. So let's go over here. We'll click the little update book button. We'll say generate the table of contents. And now, of course, we see the dots. And let's just zoom out here. Escape ZZ. And we'll hide the symbols. and you can see what we have. Now we have a little bit of extra spacing between the heading ones and the previous level there, and we'll just leave that alone. So we got a pretty good looking table of contents.